Personalization goes such a fucking long way. I think it is the missing piece for a lot of people who are having sales conversations, and this is why people are ghosting you. They're not answering. They're kind of interested, but then they're not. It's probably because you have not shown them that A, they can trust you, and B, that you're going to help them solve their specific problems, solve their unique problems.
You're listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. I'm your host, Jill Perrick, a business and mindset coach who specializes in imposter syndrome. If you feel like you're not as smart, capable, or worthy as you actually are, and that someone is going to find you out, then you've come to the right place. I went from being a struggling government worker, working my coaching business on the side, but feeling unworthy and burnt out, to making multiple six figures helping women overcome imposter syndrome so they too can sign clients, make bank, and have the business or career of their dreams. I am nothing special. I have a stuttering disability, ADHD, and I struggle with anxiety and depression. So if I can learn how to feel good enough and overcome my inner imposter, then so can you. Let's dig in.
Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. Today we're going to talk about how to not fuck up your sales conversations. Because here's the thing, this is so fucking needed. You guys, a lot of the time we're focusing on our messaging. I am one of those people. I will help you with your messaging. We'll get super specific. It'll be so fucking good. We're focusing on our content. Like, all of that is amazing. Obviously, I have the content course. I have the sales course. I talk about messaging all the time with my clients, but you still have to make the fucking sale. You know, like, you can show up on stories all you want and like fucking kill selling your offer. But if you're getting into a conversation with somebody who has a question or two and you find like you just can't get them to pull the trigger, you need help with your sales, basically. Like, whether it's on a sales call or in the DMs, you have to be able to convert somebody. And I haven't done a sales call in a hot minute. It's just not something that I really need to do or spend time on. If somebody requests a sales call, sure, and I'll get on that sales call. But for the most part, I do all of my sales in the DMs, and this is not going to be me saying you need to message people every day, ask them to be in your programs, blah, blah, blah. I've tried a lot of different sales tactics over the 6 years that I've had the business, and I'm a fully organic sales girly. I put my offers out, I show up powerfully, I say reach out to me, send me a DM, blah, blah, blah. I will reach out if somebody has inquired before. I will reach out if it's a re-sign, but for the most part, my sales conversations in the DMs are totally organic and are typically not initiated by me. Okay, so let me just say that. And but before I dive into all of this, through having actual really good sales conversations, how to not fuck them up, how to get the sale, speaking of sales, you need to be in my 45-day sales sprint in the ring. Okay? In the ring is a sales activation sprint. You are going to get daily activations to get you to show up powerfully online. You are going to get sales prompts to sell your offer, whatever the offer is, whether it's high ticket, whether it's low ticket. You are going to collapse time between now and your results because of this sales sprint. You're going to go so fucking hard. This is not for the person who is just going to sit back and be like, oh, but I'm scared, blah, blah, blah. No, like, you're getting in the ring. You're doing the damn thing and you're going hard. So for 45 days, like I said, we are going to be going hard in the ring. We are going to be selling every single day. You can sell one offer, you can sell 10. I don't give a fuck, but you are going to be doing it powerfully. You are going to be doing it with refined messaging because you're getting fucking specific in the things that you're saying. You're going to know what to say and how to say it. You're going to get access to a Telegram channel where I'm going to be, again, dropping daily activations and sales prompts. You are going to feel so supported. You are going to feel like I know what I'm going to say when I show up on stories. You're not going to like swipe over to start an Instagram story and be like, what the fuck am I trying to say today? How do I go into a sale? How do I not sound salesy? All of these thoughts that you have around fucking selling your offer are going to be gone because you're going to feel so confident in yourself and in your sales strategy. So it is called In the Ring, and we start on January 6th, and that is happening obviously in 2025, but you can join us now for $220 $22. Go to the link in my show notes and you can join directly there. And as soon as the new year hits, I'm going to be opening up the Telegram channel and we will officially start on Monday, December 6th. All right, you guys, I can't wait to see you in there. So, okay, whole conversation today around sales. I'm going to dive right into it. So the first thing that I'm going to say is we're going to talk about your sales culture, okay? For the longest time, I had the culture of people being directed to links. So I would essentially be like, here's the link, here's the link, here's the link. I was creating a culture, and you are creating a culture within your own brand as well. Okay? If you are constantly saying, here's the link, directing them to the link, you are creating the culture that people don't directly reach out to you. They go to the link in your bio, that they do this, they do that, and that works for a lot of people. Okay? It isn't bad. I'm just telling you that like you're creating the culture with the words that you're saying and how people interact with you. They go off of you and what you're saying and how you are allowing people to interact with you. So I want you to think about your current social media presence when it comes to your brand. And when you think about access, how easy is access to you? How not easy is it? Do you open up conversations for people to reach out for you? Do you do question boxes and things like that? Do you talk about inviting people to ask you a question in the DMs? Do you say DM me for the link or send me a DM? Are you facilitating those kinds of conversations? And there is no wrong answer here, because here's the thing, you get to decide. You get to decide if you want people to go through payment links or if you want people to go through a sales call conversation. Now, we're not going to get into the nitty gritty around certain offers and which offers are better suited for that, right? We talk about all things your sales inside of the From Imposter to Empowered program, as well as the Real Deal Mastermind. So if you want that specific support around your sales and improving your sales, then you can join one of those two containers to work with me. But like I said, when it comes to the culture of your sales, you're the one that determines what the culture is. And for the longest time, I was like, you're going to go through a sales call application form, you're going to go through my link, blah, blah, blah. And I would say that over and over again in my stories. I'd be like, here's the link, go to the link in my bio. That was before we were able to put links in our stories, guys. Whew. Like, I remember when Instagram fucking rolled that out, I was so excited. I was like, I can put a link directly in my stories. Oh my God, I was so excited. So anyways, I was constantly directing people to have a sales call with me. And now, though, I had decided a couple of years ago to consciously change my sales process, because I know that I have a strong sales conversation presence when I'm in the DMs. And like, just being a human, you know, like there was something about like sales calls that I would feel so much like pressure, and because I have a stutter, I would get like really nervous on them for no reason. Like, I know that I'm a good coach and I know that the offers I have are good, but it felt like a performance for me in terms of like, oh my God, like I have to like ensure I say the right thing, blah, 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 blah. So I actually found a lot of comfort in DMs and being able to answer how I want and control how I'm answering the question, and just have a very natural, organic conversation with them, and also giving them the opportunity to ask questions and to just really lean into that. You know what I'm saying? So I know how to have a conversation with somebody. I know how to help them feel seen, heard, and understood. And if the offer is a good fit for them, I'm confident in my ability to have that conversation with them and to have them come into that offer. And I think this also comes with just a really genuine belief that my work is good and I help people with the work that I do, and that I truly only want best fit clients into my offers. Like, I'm not in the DMs with somebody who's clearly not a good fit and just trying to convert them because I'm like, I'm just trying to convert them for converting's sake. Like, that's like, the quality of your business is the quality of your clients. You know, that's a huge thing. How you enjoy your business and your time comes down to who you have in close proximity. And I'm not saying that there are low quality clients. I'm saying that there are clients that are invested, they're excited, they're making moves, they're asking really good questions. As a side tangent, I remember seeing this Instagram post, this thread actually, where somebody was like, she hated that coaches said that clients need to ask better questions, but you should. Like, you should be asking better questions to your coaches and to your mentors. Like, they can't read your fucking mind. You need to learn how to like ask a question that is not just simply a, can you tell me the how to do blah, 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 blah. Like for me, I always like ask questions around like, who do I have to be? Like, what are the beliefs you stepped into? Like, how did you act when this occurred or when this occurred? Or like, what was your thought process when you did this thing, right? Learn to ask better questions. Like if you're asking a lot of, how do I do this step by step? You are so missing the point here, girlfriend, because the reason why is because when you ask how to do something and you're just looking for steps, the identity isn't there. You're not actually like being the person that is the steward of her own ship. You are not actually creating the business and the life that you want because you're just like looking to replicate a process. So even though how to is important, also think about your identity and think about who you're becoming and think about how can I leverage my coach or my mentor in a way that not only tells me like this is what I did, but also this is why I did this. This is my thought process around it, and this is my identity around it too. Okay, so off of that side tangent, like I said, it's not like there are low quality clients, but quality clients are invested. They're excited about the offer. They're asking questions. They're doing all the things, okay? And again, the quality of your clients is the quality of your life and your business. So I'm not in the DMs trying to have conversations with people that aren't a good fit. I'm talking to the people that are a good fit in how I show up, in my content, etc. And then in the DMs, I'm essentially going through a process that I thoroughly teach you in the From Imposter to Empowered program and the Real Deal Mastermind. And the first piece of this sales process is detachment and being genuine. Being genuine is very important when it comes to your sales conversations. Detaching from it and telling yourself, I don't need this sale, right? Detaching yourself from the sale, even though, like, let's say you're like, if I don't make this sale, I can't pay my car tomorrow or whatever it is, right? Like you have to be able to suspend reality in that moment and truly be like, I don't need this sale, because when you feel attached, when you feel that way, even if it's in the DMs, you will have desperate energy. You'll feel like you're constantly not saying the right thing. You'll be stressed. You'll be thinking, what is the perfect thing to say for them to buy? And that shit can be felt. And for you, it doesn't feel good either. But like being genuine and being like, I really want to help this person. If this person is a good fit, we're going to go all in. Like you see the long-term effects of that. You're not just trying to bring in a client, even though of course you would love the money. Of course, we all would, right? But like you also have to think about the longevity of your business, etc. Like, for example, you could sign a client, and I'm sure this has happened to some of you, where like in your gut you were like, I shouldn't have signed this client. Like I don't feel, they don't have a good feeling about this. I don't love the questions they're asking. Like it feels like they're just like looking for the result and they don't seem like a good fit. But because you want the money, you sign them anyways, and you've regretted it, right? And you've seen what it can do to your confidence. You can see what it can do to the quality of the container, right? So these are all things to think about. So let's say this person is a good fit for you and your offer, right? But you still have to come off as detached and genuine. So again, those are the first pieces: detachment and being genuine. You actually want to help this person. And the second piece that I really want to share with you today is personalization. And what I mean by that is so many people are hitting you with, here are the details, here's everything you need to know. But the reality is, when you're already at the stage of a sales conversation, the actual details are in the back of their mind, right? Like they're not super important. They're like the smallest part. Also, let's all be resourceful. And if somebody has a sales page for an offer, please look at the details there. You do not need to be spending time asking questions about details that are clearly on a sales page, right? Like, let's just get that out of the way too. So when you go through my sales process, you will see that the actual details of the offer are the smallest piece of things, especially if you are very forthcoming with the details in a post, in your stories, on your sales calls. You talk about your offer often, right? Like when they're in the DMs, if they have not bought yet, they want to know who you are. They want to know that they can trust you, and they want to know, is this offer going to work for me? At the end of the day, that is the question that we all have. Is this going to work for me? People are inherently very about themselves. They're very selfish, but not in a bad way. We care about ourselves, and this is actually going to be comforting for you. Like, people are not thinking about you half as much as you fucking think they are. And I actually had this thought in yoga a couple of weeks ago. I was really struggling because it was really fucking hot. It was hot yoga. It was in the morning. I was really tired that day, and I was thinking for a split second, I was like, oh my God, I look like I'm having a hard time in this class. It was a hard class. And then I was like, nobody cares, Jill. Nobody is looking at you. Everybody is focused on themselves in this fucking yoga class, okay? And the same thing goes for your business. The same thing goes for everything. People are more concerned about themselves, and in a sales conversation, people are not grading you on how is she handling this sales conversation, right? They're thinking about themselves and the result that they want. They're just trying to get a feel for who you are, if you are a good fit for them. They're trying to see if they can trust you, and they want to know what is in it for them. Are you going to be able to solve their problem? And that is when the personalization comes in, because the personalization piece here is that no matter what your offer is about, people want to know, is this going to solve the problem that I have? And how you do that is having a conversation with your potential client, and instead of throwing the details at them, you're going to be like, hey, thank you so much for reaching out to me. Please tell me why you are reaching out specifically about this offer. Tell me, what are you struggling with, and what are you hoping for? Open up the conversation, really hear what they're saying, because 9 times out of 10, if they're seeing your content and they're deciding that this is going to be the offer for them, they're not reaching out because they need details. They are probably reaching out to see if you're a good fit for them. Even if you have on-point messaging and they're like, yep, that's me, sometimes they just want that connection. Sometimes they just want... And of course, here, I'm talking about high ticket, okay? Like, I'm not talking about, like, it's a fucking $33 masterclass and they're like, is this a good fit for me? It's like, girl, you're in or you're out, okay? So I'm talking about high ticket services, like 4 figures, 5 figures, okay? And a big piece of this is knowing that their problems are going to be solved. So when you're in that conversation with people, just hearing what they're saying and responding truthfully, of course, to the problems that they're having and how your offer is going to solve those problems for them. So it would look something like, I hear that you're struggling with being consistent and with creating content that converts. Inside of the From Imposter to Empowered program, I talk about how to be consistent even if you have ADHD, even if consistency has not been easy for you before. We really create and implement a system that works for you. I also have a whole course on content that you are going to be able to dive into immediately. And that is specifically going to help you create content that converts, that brings in those clients to your offer. So as you're being consistent, it's actually moving towards something, right? So I'm hearing what a potential client is saying to me, and I am matching it up with how my offer and how the things inside of my offer are going to support them in solving that problem. And as I said, this has to be honest. It has to be truthful. And for the most part, if your content is doing a good job, people are not just going to come out of the woodwork and say something completely out of left field that is not something that you can help them with. Like, I don't even think that's ever happened to me before. Like, it's just not going to happen if your content is speaking to them. And if you're talking about what it is you do, if you're talking about your expertise, people are going to come in and they're going to see you as the expert, and they're going to ask you questions pertaining to the things that you can actually solve for them. Personalization goes such a fucking long way. I think it is the missing piece for a lot of people who are having sales conversations, and this is why people are ghosting you. They're not answering. They're kind of interested, but then they're not. It's probably because you have not shown them that A, they can trust you, and B, that you're going to help them solve their specific problems, solve their unique problems. And when I say specific problems, we all have the same. It's not like somebody is going to come at you with something you've never heard before. We all have the same problems, and hopefully your offer is solving problems for your potential client. So when they come in to have that sales conversation with you, whether it's on a sales call or in the DMs, you know that your offer is going to help them solve that problem, and you just have to mirror back to them their words and in a way that they're going to understand. Right? So when you work with me in the From Imposter to Empowered program or the Real Deal Mastermind, we really master your sales process. So not only is your content leading best clients to your offers, but once you actually have a conversation with them, they actually convert into your offers because you know how to have a productive sales conversation that feels good on both ends. And we're almost at the end of December, you guys, but you can still join the From Imposter to Empowered program. You can still join the Real Deal Mastermind. Just head to the link in my show notes for both of those offers so you can start 2025 off on the best foot possible and with 5K to 10K months in your business. Don't forget about the sales sprint. If that is something that you're into instead, you're like, I'm going to get in the ring and go fucking hard for 45 days with daily sales activations and sales prompts, get into In the Ring, my offer for $222. It's going to change your fucking life. No matter where you're at, there is a container for you. There is a seat at my table, and you can look all of that up at the link in my show notes. I love you guys so much. I'll see you next week. Hey babe, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Screenshot it and put it on your stories and tag me at your coach Jill. And if you really love me, you'll rate and review the podcast. And if you screenshot it before you submit the review and send it to me, I will send you a free gift on me. If you want to take this work deeper, come and work with me in the From Imposter to Empowered program or the Real Deal Mastermind. And finally, if you want just a snippet of my work to feel what it's like to be in my world, then you need to buy my best-selling book, You're Not Special, and you can get that on Amazon. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next week.